Next one up, Z. I gotta say here, you got shown up. This was your early draft crush in a sense, especially being out of your scouting realm. We've got a Swede by the name of Anton Frondell, who you put at 7, Button puts at 2, and Ellis puts at 11. Zay, are you worried that Button has him at 2 based on your ranking?
No, I think you're gonna see him as high as 2. You'll see him at like 15, depending on whatever outlet you're looking at. So obviously his track record over the last few years, he's just like been one of those guys. I mean, even when we first started talking about the drafts in our way too early conversations about the 2025 NHL draft, like he was in that category of player that was challenged for first overall. He's just missed so much time with injury. And then the more you watch him, like, especially with Team Sweden, and the fact that he's played on the same team and usually on the same line as Victor Eklund at the club level, you kind of realize how much like Eklund is doing as far as like the heavy lifting goes. But Frondell, he's like 6'1", 6'2", plays a really good two-way game, skates pretty well. He's got an absolute weapon of a shot. He can score from distance. He always has. The big concern has always just been now like how much of his offensive output has been from him being like bigger, stronger, more athletic than everyone his age forever. And now that people have caught up, is it a little bit more of a level playing field now? That being said, he's still got an insane amount of upside. He's going to go high in this draft regardless. Like he's going to be in that, like there's, I would imagine that pretty much every NHL team has him in that conversation still for first overall, just given how good he's been for so long. I would just say again, like, he's actually playing really, really well. He's got a bunch of points recently in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks in the offensive since he's been like fully healthy. I think he had a big time knee surgery in the offseason too. But again, I just going back as he was out and we were trying to evaluate like tape early on in the year, you kind of like the more you watch, you just realize like a lot of it was like a lot of the heavy lifting and playmaking was coming from a guy like Eklund. He was like, and Frondell was proven to be the finisher. That being said, there's still tremendous upside. He's a really good 200-foot player. Last year, I think he played 8 or 9 games in the Allsvenskan as a double underager. And I mean, he was playing like a fourth line role really well. So he's big, he's physical, and he does have that, like, you see those moments of game-breaking upside at times, not consistent enough. And again, there's a reason that he did not make the World Juniors versus a guy like Eklund who did. So that's why I have them back to back now, but he's still in that conversation. He's fallen out of it for me personally, but like scout wise across the league, he's going to be talked about as a potential first overall guy. But like, given how much time he's missed the last couple of years, it's always tough to evaluate. And then like, you only have so much tape to watch and kind of like make your rankings, and like watching tapes of the last few years, like, oh, well, Eklund has been doing a whole lot of the play, but he's still a fucking awesome player. Very fun to watch. And he stayed healthy since he's come back. Hopefully he stays healthy. And who knows, he could be back in that top 5 conversation again.
Okay, fair.